I like square butts.
Hello denizens of the internet, and welcome to, well, just another video, where today we will be discussing one of the greatest controversies in recent years, one that has been said to divide man and machine upon the mere utterance of its lyrics, one whose content very well may be too moist for television, one that shall go down in infamy as the single greatest marketing campaign to ever transcend the land's two surfaces, the king fool that kills crews, absorbent and yellow and porous is he. It is, well, it speaks for itself.
I like square butts and I cannot lie. Squid and sea star can't deny.
But before I touch on that, I'll have to give a little exposition to this tale. The year was 2009. Silly bands yet to storm classrooms nationwide. Dell factory workers sang songs of cherry-flavored lollipops, and Burger King was continuing their conquest to market their wares to adults in any form or fashion that they could think of, with controversy and a collective reaction from the media and consumers alike being the game that they were playing. Though the year prior, 2008, was really where the rules of this game came into fruition, with two very notable ad campaigns taking place that year. The first of which was the Whopper Virgin documentary, which featured Burger King associates traveling to various remote and likely third world areas of the globe to get people who've never had fast food to give their quote-unquote unbiased opinion for as to who makes the best burger, the king or the clown. Now this of course led to a healthy amount of bad publicity on the part of the news outlets, with such pull quotes as, "It's embarrassing and emblematic of how ignorant Americans still seem to the rest of the world," being generated in response. Though despite the criticism, something must have worked in their favor, as the follow-up ad, the Whopper Sacrifice, was also clearly built to stir a healthy broth of bad publicity, though to a lesser political and more first-world extent. For you see, the basis that the Whopper Sacrifice was built upon was one wherein Burger King encouraged Facebook users to delete 10 of their friends while having a Whopper Sacrifice extension installed to receive a free Whopper sandwich. And this time the ad was met with significantly less controversy from the media and consumers, where nearly 234,000 eviscerated individuals got sent to the fucking depths of cyberspace and beyond for a cool 37 cents plus applicable taxes. That is, of course, if you either didn't receive this message indicating that you had been sold out for a sandwich from all your friends and loved ones, or if you hadn't missed the deadline for the campaign itself, which was a mere 10 days after it launched. However, this deadline wasn't completely involuntary on Burger King's part, as Facebook had to step in as they realized that the extension's feature that sends unfriended messages to the unlucky site users was in violation of their policy to not tell people if they had been unfriended.
And they try to take the function away. They didn't necessarily take it down. We sort of took it down ourselves, because they took away the function where the person who got sacrificed was notified by an email. In fact, it was an email with your picture burning. And once they took that away, it wasn't fun anymore. So we sort of sacrificed it.
So the Zuck and his companions asked Burger King to remove this feature, though the king, unwilling to take away part of the fun of the ad, as well as recognizing that they were planning on ending the campaign soon after anyways.
We would have had to just take it down ourselves.
Yeah.
And
we would have been we were almost out of Whoppers.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
We were almost out of Whoppers, and had they waited one more day, we would have been out completely.
Outright ended it the following Wednesday, leaving this little image and video on their now defunct website, whoppersacrifice.com, in memorandum.
Burger King knew that America loved the Whopper, but wanted to prove it. So it turned to Facebook and put the love to the test. Everybody loves adding friends, but is that simply because it's fun to see your friend list pile up? Well, what if there was a way to dump friends and get rewarded for it? And what if this turned into a race to dump them before they dumped you? Meet Whopper Sacrifice. Delete 10 friends and receive a free Whopper. A true moral dilemma, a telling choice. What do you love more? Your friends or the Whopper? A difficult question to answer. Or was it? Almost instantly, people were sacrificing their friends for Whoppers like crazy, to the tune of 200,000 friends sacrificed in just over a week. And people's burning desire to dump friends for the Whopper challenged the very concept of Facebook. Instead of embracing this new marketing opportunity and the 35 million free media impressions it received, Facebook began limiting its functionality, ultimately forcing Burger King to take it down. Whopper Sacrifice had been sacrificed. But despite the application's short-lived activation, Burger King proved what it knew to be true, that Americans love the Whopper more than they like their friends. Thanks for watching.
We will be right back to Pseudo The Animator, a part of Summer of Vapor 2017. Only on YouTube.
But now, with the bullets primed, the blades are sharpened, and the adequate knowledge obtained, let the 90-degree onslaught begin. For this is... SpongeBob got back.
I like square butts and I cannot lie. Squid and sea star can't deny. When a sponge walks in, four corners in his pants like he got phone book implants, the crowd shouts. All the ladies stare. Dang, those pants are square. Swinging through the seaweed tangles is a butt with sharp right angles. Now SpongeBob, I wanna get with ya, cause you're making me richer. I know why do we keep it grungy, cause everybody knows that he's so spongy. Oh, rumpa sponge skin, you dance with your hips don't bend. So groove it and move it. If you got caboose, then prove it.
Now after that glorious and well-sung display of late-stage capitalism, you're probably either thinking one of two things. Either A, why is this so fucking hot?
Booty is booty.
Or B, what's with all the fuss about? This is a mostly harmless advertisement, especially geared towards adults. And well, while I can't say that I disagree with you on the latter, there are a handful of news articles and parent organizations that would beg to differ with some fair reason. The most apparent and attention-grabbing of the points of the controversy is the fact that SpongeBob is a character and television property was primarily used to entertain children. Granted, the clever writing of the show's original 3-season run has made it enjoyable to people of all ages and maturity levels, with the writers not shying away from employing more adult jokes in the show.
Patrick, your genius is showing.
Where?
And even with the commercial's target demographic being very clearly for adults, given that it first aired on the 2009 men's NCAA basketball tournament, as well as insistence from both Nickelodeon and Burger King that it was meant for the biggest kids of them all, one would have to be incredibly naive to not expect a commercial featuring a globally popular kids icon being put into a moderately sexual context, with lines such as "wanna push his pores and tease him" being directed at him to go off without any parental backlash. In fact, I would go as far to theorize that Burger King and Viacom were both very well aware of the controversy that this road would lead them down, and after some deep consideration, they put their foot on the gas and floored it, which for the most part is backed by the company's past using of bad publicity to their advantage. Then, to continue the outrage of the sexual nature of this commercial, comes this repeatedly quoted phrase from the Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood's opinion on the matter, stating that it's bad enough when companies use a beloved media character like SpongeBob to promote junk food to children, but it's utterly reprehensible when characters simultaneously promotes objectified, sexualized images of women. Now, whether you completely agree with them or regard what was just said as nothing but a bunch of prudish, pearl-clutching nonsense, I say that one must still consider the fact that lyrically the song pretty much only sexualizes square butts, and more specifically SpongeBob, a fictional character's square butts. Like this man really wants to fuck SpongeBob. So can it really be considered a promotion of sexualization and, to some, objectification of women if the main point of focus is an anthropomorphic SpongeBob that doesn't exist? And for us, the women in the video, a square butt doesn't exist either, or not at least in the specific cubicle form and fashion that's portrayed in the video. So can that really be considered sexualization and objectification as well? And even if such square butt were to exist and populate the posteriors of some humans, what's to say that Burger King wasn't simply celebrating the underrepresented human form of square ass in a world where voluptuous bubble butts reign supreme? And after all, he's tired of all these chairs that don't accommodate these squares? I don't know, man. I'm just the guy who didn't want this hilariously absurd occurrence in the recent years to go by unnoticed and slip into the darkest depths of cyberspace, just like all those lost in the great Whopper sacrifice of '08. But I feel as though one more quote would be a fitting send-off for this piece, that I feel sums up the opinions of a fair few survivors of this ad. From Maria Andrew of NJ.com, "It's dumb, surely, and the woman in the bright red dress who gets her butt measured by the Burger King bobble-headed guy is certainly gratuitous. But does it really lead to a sexual awakening of my 7 and 9-year-olds? Heck, I don't think it even encourages them to go to Burger King. So I ask you, denizens of the internet, did they go too far? Would you tell SpongeBob to shake his cubicle butt? Or on an even more existential note, maybe this whole controversy was never about SpongeBob or square butts to begin with, but instead it's actually a deeper commentary on artistic integrity, standards and practices, love and loss, and most importantly of all, how far will one go for the almighty Whopper?" Nah.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh lolly, 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 lollipop.
Call my baby lollipop, tell you why. Her kiss is sweeter than a cherry pie. And when she does a shaky rock and dance, man, I haven't got a chance.
Treat yourself to a Dell Inspiron laptop with intelligent Intel processors. Dell, yours is here.